Welcome, everyone, to Jimmy John's Field on a Sunday afternoon ball game between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here to bring you this game. And Dan, the Mammoths last night had a convincing victory over the Utica Unicorns. They won that game 8-1.
Yeah, they did. It was that fifth inning that really killed the Unicorns, but also some other runs came in later in the game for the Woolly Mammoths.
Yeah, that bottom of the fifth inning for the Westside Woolly Mammoths was an explosive one. A 2 RBI single from Kent Blackstone, an RBI single from Alex Abbott, and Ethan Whisker in his debut with the Mammoths got his first career hit with them as a 3-run home run. And he wasn't the only one in that ball game, Dan. For the Unicorns, it was Brandon Schaefer, his first hit ever, leadoff home run to start the ball game. So we had a couple of those in that ball game, and later in the game, Ken Blackstone also had an RBI single, and Jobo Farrell also had one in the 8th inning too, and that gave them the 8 runs in that ball game. And as far as pitching goes, they dominated as well.
Yes, they did.
Sean Kennedy had a great pitching performance yesterday. Went 6 innings pitched with 6 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So great outing from him. Really needed that one to get things on the right track. And all the relief pitchers did great too. Luke McCaddy, Josh Mason, and Gavin Collins all went 1 inning each. Gave up no earned runs, and between the 3 of them only gave up 2 hits. So great pitching from all of them. And let's see if they can carry that into today, as Jeremy Holcomb will be on the mound for the Mammoths.
Yeah, he's been really dominant for this Woolly Mammoth starting rotation. I mean, coming in, he's got 39 innings pitched, has 4 wins, 0 losses. It was only giving up 30 hits, has 25 strikeouts, 11 runs which were earned. His ERA is 2.54 and WHIP is .97.
Yeah, he is undoubtedly the ace of the Westside Woolly Mammoth starting rotation. With that 2.54 ERA and the WHIP underneath 1, he's just been dominating on the mound. And before Kevin Matthews signed with the Atlanta Braves, it was those two duking it out for the best pitchers in the league.
Yes, it was.
And obviously with Kevin Matthews gone, it's now Holcomb, definitely the best pitcher, I think, starting pitcher.
And, you know, these two teams haven't faced each other since the 18th. It's been a while. And back in that game, Birmingham Beavers did win 10-1. That was on Father's Day. Remember that, with Kevin Matthews on the mound?
Yep.
He completely dominated, only giving up only 1 hit in that ball game. And David Ernst got the start for the Woolly Mammoths. But today, Holcomb on the mound, that's the go-to guy you want to, especially with this matchup.
On the other side of things, on the Beavers mound, is going to be Jake Welch. Jake Welch is 1-0 in this season so far with a 4.20 ERA, 9 games played, 15 innings pitched, 15 hits, 8 walks, and 12 strikeouts. His ERA and his WHIP is at 1.53. His WHIP's a little bit up there, but his ERA is just a little bit above 4, so hopefully he can bring that down in today's ball game. He's a pitcher that has a lot of potential, and he's got a lot of good stuff. It's just he's fallen onto some bad luck in his last few starts.
Yes.
So he looks to come out here today and change that up. And Kent Blackstone has had a heck of a last few games for himself.
Yes, they have.
3 RBIs in yesterday's ball game, and 3 or 4 in the game before that. He has really been performing on the top of his game lately. Last night, like I mentioned, he went 2 for 2 with a 2 RBI single, an RBI single, a stolen base, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And then he also, let me see if I can pull it up here. He also had a home run last weekend.
You're right, Brian.
Yes, he went 3 for 3 with a base hit, a double with an RBI, a 3-run home run, and 2 walks. We went 3 for 3 in that ball game, so he's been really rolling right now, and he looks to continue that here.
Yes.
And when players get on their hot streaks, Dan, they, they can really propel their team.
Yeah.
And that's what Blackstone's been doing.
And you know what, Brian? It's just a beautiful afternoon here at Jimmy John's Field, and you got the Minions Day as well.
It is Minions Day here on July 2nd. It is a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, partly cloudy, 77 degrees. Just can't get much better in terms of weather. And the crowd is still pouring in here. Expect to have a full stadium. Saturdays and Sundays tend to be the fullest due to the fact that it's the weekend. We have a Monday game tomorrow as well in preparation of the 4th of July. It's going to be an afternoon game as well.
Now, Brian, do you have any plans for 4th of July?
I'm going to a party with some of my hockey teammates.
Okay.
What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to barbecue with the family. So it's going to be great.
4th of July is always a big event in my family, but with everything going on, no one's going to be able to get together this year, so I decided to go with some friends.
Okay.
We're just a few moments away here from the starting lineup, and Dan, who do you think will come out on top in today's ball game? The Mammoths, who are rolling, or the Beavers, who are looking to get on track?
I hate that you pulled this on me. You know, I'm gonna go with the Woolly Mammoths. After what I seen from them last night, I mean, I feel that they're gonna be very active as well.
I tend to agree with you. I think the Westside Woolly Mammoths, who have been really rolling lately, and with Jeremy Holcomb on the mound, it's quite a formidable foe for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. But the Beavers have some power in their lineup with DeAndre Clark and Nick Wilson, who can really drive in a lot of runs. So don't expect them to go down easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Now, who are you going to go for your player of the game?
I will leave you in suspense and tell you when we get back, because it's starting lineups time. So I'll send it down to the field for the starting lineups for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths.
Charlotte, North Carolina, the center fielder, number 20, Brandon Raw. Batting third from Decatur, Georgia, the first baseman, number 6, Nick Wilson. Batting fourth from Pearland, Texas, the designated hitter, number 3, Nick Buckner. Batting fifth from Woodstock, Maryland, the catcher, number 17, Robert Lucido. Batting sixth from Montpelier, Virginia, the shortstop, number 1, DJ Martinez. Batting seventh from Dexter, Michigan, the left fielder, number 4, Mike Medashevsky. Batting eighth from Deming, New Mexico, the third baseman, number 10, Dan Hennon. Batting ninth from New Hyde Park, New York, the second baseman, number 13, Thomas Rulis. The starting pitcher today for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers from Spencerport, New York, number 15, Jake Welch. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's for all you Westside Woolly Mammoth fans. The Westside Woolly Mammoths, managed by Shane McCarthy. Leading off and batting first from El Segundo, California, the second baseman, number 6, R.J. Muir. Batting second from Vienna, Virginia, the third baseman, number 9, Kent Blackstone. Batting third from Tipton, Georgia, the right fielder, number 21, Alex Abbott. Batting fourth from Ohio, Michigan, today's designated hitter, number 22, Ethan Whisker. Batting fifth from Goffstown, New Hampshire, the first baseman, number 3, Riley Palmer. Batting sixth from Hamilton, Ohio, the shortstop, number 2, Jeff Smith. Batting seventh from Arlington, Virginia, the left fielder, number 25, Sean Wood. Batting eighth from Indianapolis, Indiana, today's catcher, number 4, Nick Krause. Batting ninth from Chicago, Illinois, the center fielder, number 7, Jonah Burrell. The starting pitcher today for the Westside Woolly Mammoths from Mount Olive, Alabama, number 12, Jeremy Holcomb. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep their caps on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Lindsay Gottschalk.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, everyone, and we are just a few moments away from first pitch here in this afternoon matchup between the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers and Westside Woolly Mammoths. And Dan, why don't you go through the starting lineup for the Beavers one more time, and for those who are just tuning in?
I would love to. Batting first, out and right, you have DeAndre Clark. Batting second, the center fielder, Brandon Raw. Batting third, the first baseman, Nick Wilson. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Nicholas Buckner. Batting fifth, the catcher, Robert Lucido. Batting sixth, the shortstop, DJ Martinez. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Mike Mishevsky. Batting eighth, the third baseman, Dan Kennan. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Thomas Ruvis. Defensively for the Woolly Mammoths, in left you have Sean Wood. In center, you have Jabba Farrow. In right, you have Alex Abbott. At third, you have Kent Blackstone. At shortstop, you have Jeff Smith. At second, you have R.J. Fuhr. At first, you have Riley Palmer. Doing the catching behind the plate is Nick Kraus. And on the mound for the Woolly Mammoths is Jeremy Holcomb.
And Jeremy Holcomb, like we had previously mentioned, Dan, is a force to be reckoned with on the mound.
Yes, he is.
He strikes fast and he strikes hard, attacks that strike zone a lot, and it makes it tough for the pitchers, especially when he mixes in those off-speed pitches. Makes it tough on those batters to even make contact.
Yeah.
He's got 25 strikeouts and 8 walks with 30 hits, and he's just someone that is exciting to watch every time he's out there.
Yes, he is. And you know what, Brian? Before we had Kevin Matthews and him to watch out for, and now since Kevin Matthews been signed, Holcomb is definitely to watch out for in this league now.
And Dan, who are you going to go with for your player of the game?
I'm going to go with Nick Wilson today.
All right, that's fair. He hits a lot of home runs. I'm going to go with Kent Blackstone. He's been hot lately,
Yes,
so
he has.
I'm banking on the fact that he can hopefully keep that going. And our writer Steve told me that he's going to go with DJ Martinez, the shortstop for the Beavers. And DeAndre Clark will step in now for the first at-bat of the ball game. Clark batting at .369 so far this season with 10 RBIs. First pitch to Clark is going to be a strike. 0-1 on him now. First pitch came at 1:34 p.m. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That'll be a pitch in there for a strike. 0-2. DeAndre Clark, always a force to be reckoned with at the plate.
Yes, he is. And if he gets on, you definitely need to watch out on the base pads as well.
He's going to fly that one foul, remain 0-2 now. Doesn't have any home runs, has 10 RBIs and 31 hits. And he's the leadoff hitter for the Beavers for a reason. He always manages to get on base, it seems.
Yeah, him and Brett Belkin been battling it out this season as one of the top hitters.
For a while, DeAndre Clark had the league lead in average, as that's going to be a ball high, 1-2. A couple a couple of tough games for Clark, and then a couple 4-for-4 games for Brett Balkin. Switched that up, but DeAndre Clark is hot on his heels, as Brett Balkin did not have a good game last night. Swing and a miss there from DeAndre Clark, and he strikes out swinging for the first out of the ball game.
Didn't take long for Holcomb to get his first strikeout of the ball game.
Not long at all. So now Brandon Raw will step in. It's very rare indeed to see DeAndre Clark strike out, so don't get used to that sight. Last time these two teams faced off, Brandon Raw was not on the team as he was still on the Unicorns, so this is the first time he'll face the Mammoths as a member of the Beavers.
Yeah, he's
1-0 on him now.
He's hitting .267, has 21 hits, 4 homers, and 14 RBIs.
It's going to be a ground ball through the 5.5 hole, gets past both the infielders, and that's going to be a base hit for Brandon Raw.
Make that number 22.
So now one on, one out here in the top of the first inning for the power-hitting Nick Wilson.
And yes, I chose him as my player of the game today, Brian. I feel that he'll do a lot better than he has the past 2 games.
Back on the 24th, when these two teams faced off, he went 2 for 5. He had 2 base hits and 2 RBIs, so he didn't perform poorly. He had a good game. As that one's going to be grounded foul.
And back on the 18th, when these two teams faced each other, Nick Wilson had 2 homers and 4 RBIs, went 2 for 3.
So he's been very good this season to this point, batting .286 with 4 home runs, 14 RBIs on 14 hits. And any pitcher, even a pitcher like Jeremy Holcomb, who's very dominant on the mound, has to be careful when pitching to Nick Wilson. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Pitch inside is a ball, 1-1. Nick Wilson will make you pay.
Yes, he will. Very dangerous hitter.
Raw down there at first with a decent lead. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there from Nick Wilson.
That was a big cut from him.
Yes, it was. He takes a lot of big cuts like that, all that power, and he's a lot like John Mencken of the Hoppers, where a lot of his pitches or a lot of his hits will end up on the warning track before they get caught. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's going to be a pitch inside, 2-2. Pitchers seem to have adopted that pitching inside tactic with Nick Wilson, with how tall he stands and where he keeps his hands. It's tough for him to get those pitches inside, but he will occasionally knock one out. Here comes the 2-2. He's going to drive that one to deep left field. On the run is Farrell to the track, to the wall, and that's going to be gone. A 2-run home run. And Nick Wilson made Jeremy Holcomb pay on that one.
Yes, he did.
And just like that, it's a 2-0 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers.
I feel that's like Nick Wilson's favorite spot to hit homers, right there, deep center, near the scoreboard.
Yeah, he hit that one over there by the scoreboard, and Farrell just kept going until he ran out of room.
And I'm a happy man right now, as I picked him as my player of the game to start.
Soft. I can't say anything. I picked Kent Blackstone, who's been on fire lately. So Nick Buckner will step in now with now the bases clear and 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Beavers now have a 1-0 lead after that 2-run home run from Nick Wilson. First pitch to Buckner is going to be called a strike, 0-1. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Holcomb. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to ground that one down the third base line. Throw down to first. We'll get him. So 2 outs here in the top of the first inning now.
But what a beautiful swing that was from Nick Wilson.
He makes it look so effortless, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
And he drilled that one in a left center field, like just got all of that one. You know when Nick Wilson hits a home run because off the bat, that thing is just flying. Here comes the first pitch to Robert Lucido in his first plate appearance. That's going to be a strike, 0-1. Lucido so far this season just batting .172. Does have a home run with 2 RBIs, however. That one's going to be fouled off his ankle. 0-2 now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, way outside, 1-2. 1-2 pitch, low and away, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Nick Wilson gets the Beavers a lead after the 2-run home run to left center field. Absolutely crushed that one. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Way outside. 3-2 now. Full count on Robert Lucido. Last time these two teams faced off back on the 24th. As that one's going to be popped over to Palmer. Ooh, no one's going to catch it. That's going to be a bloop single for Robert Lucido, as 2 infielders and Abbott came in to get that one, and none of them were able to catch it.
A little confusion there.
DJ Martinez will step in now, the shortstop for the Mammoths, and Steve's pick for player of the game. Interesting jerseys that the Beavers are wearing in today's ballgame. The numbers on the back have the Beavers logo behind it. I've never quite seen a jersey like that.
I really like it, though.
He's going to ground that one foul. 0-1 now.
We've seen a lot of different uniforms these teams wear here in USPBL.
Last time these two teams faced off, DJ Martinez did not play, so he'll get a chance here against the Mammoths today. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That'll be a pitch. They're going to throw down to first and try to get him. Oh, almost got him. A quick throw from Kraus. Nearly got Lucido down there at first base.
And, of course, he has to dust himself off there, getting down and dirty.
Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there. 2-2 now on DJ Martinez.
Big rip from him there.
As he swung over top of the 90-mile-an-hour fastball low in the zone. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, he's going to strike him out looking on a pitch on the corner. And that's going to do it for the Beavers in the top of the first inning, but they get a 2-0 lead after the Nick Wilson home run to left center field. When we come back, it'll be the bottom half of the first for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Leading off will be R.J. Fier, Kent Blackstone, and Alex Abbott. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here and at the bottom of the first inning. And Dan, why don't you go through the starting lineup for the Westside Woolly Mammoths for those just tuning in?
All right. Batting first, the second baseman, R.J. Fier. Batting second, the third baseman, Kent Blackstone. Batting third, the right fielder, Alex Abbott. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Ethan Whisker. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Riley Palmer. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Jeff Smith. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Sean Wood. Batting eighth, the catcher, Nick Kraus. And batting ninth, the center fielder, Joba Farrell. And defensively for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers, out in left you have Mike Michevsky. Out in center you have Brandon Raw. In right, you have DeAndre Clark. At third, you have Dan Kennan. At short, you have DJ Martinez. At second, you have Thomas Rulis. At first, you have Nick Wilson. And doing the catching behind the plate is Robert Lucido. And on the mound for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers is Jake Welch.
So R.J. Fuhr will step in now. He's batting 180 on the season so far. Last night's ball game, he went 1 for 3, had a base hit and 2 walks. So he's been performing better as of late. His average is up from yesterday, and it continues to climb.
And that's good to see.
1-0 on him now. Is the first pitch from Welch is a ball. Yeah, he started his season earlier in the season. His average is below 1, and he's slowly been climbing it. He had a good month of June, and he continues to keep it going now. It's 3-0 now on RJ, or 2-0 now on RJ Fuhr. Comes the 2-0 pitch. That'll be a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Kennan down there at third is playing fairly shallow down there, close to the infield grass. So that's going to be a strike, 2-2.
And last time these two teams faced each other on the 24th, he was 1 for 4 with a hit and a stolen base.
Here comes the 2-2. A pitch outside. We'll run the count full now at 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed there from R.J. Fuhr.
Definitely had him fooled there.
Yes, he did on that 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Not what he was expecting. Tried to protect the plate, but was just too late on the swing. So R.J. Fuhr goes down on strikes, and just like Jeremy Holcomb in the first, strikes out the first batter of the ball game.
Funny how things work out.
So now Kent Blackstone will step in, Dan. Blackstone, like we mentioned, has been very hot lately.
Yes, he has.
The first pitch to him is going to be a strike on the outer half of the plate, 0-1.
And you know what? I don't blame you as you picking him as your player of the game.
Yeah, the last 2 times we've saw him, he's had 3 RBIs yesterday and 4 RBIs the game before in the previous weekend. 1-1 on Blackstone now. Jake Welch's fastball tends the top around 92 miles an hour. As that one's driven down the right field line, foul.
Yeah, last time these two teams faced each other, Kent Blackstone had 4 RBIs and a 3-run homer.
That was one of his only 2 home runs in, this season so far. He's got a third of his RBIs in just these past 2 games that we've seen them. As that pitch is going to be just a little bit high. 2-2 now on Kent Blackstone. He's got 21 on the season to this point. 3 in last night's game and 4 in the game last weekend. Comes the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be grounded down to the third baseman, Kennan. Kennan will throw it on to first, and he will beat Kent Blackstone by a few steps with the throw. So it will be a quick 2 outs here for Jake Welch in the bottom half of the first inning, and Alex Abbott will step in now. Abbott in last night's ball game, Dan, went 2 for 2. He had a RBI with 2 base hits, and he was also hit by a pitch. So he got on base 3 times in that ball game.
And yeah, and last time these two teams faced each other, which was last week, he had a 3-run homer and 4 RBIs as well.
So Alex Abbott has been hot lately as well, and he drives that one to right center field. Clark will be on the run. He is playable, and he will make the catch out there in right center field. And that will be a quick 1-2-3 inning for Jake Welch and the Beavers. And we go to the top half of the second inning, where due up for the Beavers will be Mike Metashevsky, Dan Kennan, and Thomas Rulis. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the second inning, where due out for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will be Mike Metashevsky, the left fielder in today's ball game. And the Beavers got out to an early 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning thanks to a 2-run home run from Nick Wilson. Wilson absolutely launching that ball to left center field over the wall. And that's just what you expect out of him at this point. With all that power behind that bat, home runs are no stranger to him. So Mike Metashevsky will stand in, batting .294 so far in this season. He's fairly new to the league still.
Yeah, we have seen many new faces here in USPBL.
He went 1 for 3 back on the 24th before he was pinch hit for by Gerard Hernandez. He had an RBI single in that ball game as well. I believe that was his first hit with the league, as that's going to be fouled off. 1-1 now on him.
I think you're right, Brian.
Well, thank you. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Be a pitch just outside. 2-1 now on Metashevsky. Comes the 2-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one high in the air. Smith backing out onto the outfield grass and going to be called off by Wood, who will make the catch. So a quick out here for Jeremy Holcomb. Trying to have a bounce back inning after a rough first. He struck out Denandre Clark, but after that gave up 2 hits. That included the 2-run home run from Nick Wilson. 3 hits in total in that inning. So he's going to be looking to bounce back this inning and try and keep his pitch count down, as Dan Kennan will stand in now. Dan Kennan is batting .270 on the season to this point with 4 RBIs and no home runs. So it's going to be a strike out on the outside edge. 0-1 now. Kennan did not play in that ball game on the 24th between the Beavers and the Mammoths. 0-1 pitch swung on and missed there by Kennan. 0-2. That was a Saturday evening game. Here comes the delivery from Holcomb. Oh, pitch way outside on that one. 92-mile-an-hour fastball misses badly. 1-2 now. 1-2 pitch is going to be driven into right field. That'll get down fair territory for a base hit. Kennan is going to round first, but stop. Oh, he's going to go to second after it's bobbled by Abbott. He will get in safely. So that'll be at least a base hit for Dan Kennan.
Great heads-up running there by Kennan. Saw that Alex Abbott was bobbling it out there and got there safely to second.
Yeah, good heads-up baseball from him. And they're going to rule that one a double for him. So there will not be an error on Abbott after he bobbled the ball out there. So Dan Kennan gets on with a double here in the top half of the second inning. And Thomas Rulis will step in and try to drive him home and extend this lead for the Beavers.
Back when these two teams faced each other on the 25th, or 24th that is, Thomas Rulis was 1 for 4 with a 2-hit RBI single.
A 2 RBI single.
Yeah.
It's 1-0 on him as of right now. And, yeah, he also had a walk in that ball game. And the 1-0 pitch is going to be grounded over to the second baseman, Fuhr. Fuhr will make the throw down to first. And that'll be the second out of the inning. But he manages to move Kennan down there to third base. So now with a runner at third and 2 outs, Denandre Clark will step back in for a second at-bat of the ball game.
Yeah, he struck out his first time, and that was Holcomb's first strikeout of the ball game.
That was also the first out of the ball game. Denandre Clark does not strike out often, so don't expect to see that too much more. Of course, now that I've said that, he'll strike out here. It's just how my luck goes.
Oh, no. You got to quit doing that, Brian.
As that's going to be a ball high and outside, 1-0. Pitch is going to drive that one over the head of Fuhr. That's going to get into right field for a base hit, and that'll score a run. So an RBI single for Denandre Clark will drive home a run and make it 3-0 in favor of the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. So Brandon Raw will step in now. Raw reached on a base hit back in the first inning. He started off that inning. Or started off the offense in that inning, I guess I should say. So now the runner at first, and with 2 outs, he looks to keep the inning alive, keep the line moving. Delivery from Holcomb is just in there for a strike, 0-1. Hitting the outside edge of that strike zone.
Yeah, the up last night was reasonable with his calls last night, calling that a strike.
He had
the outside.
he had a very generous strike zone. It was wide on both sides, but he was consistently inconsistent, if you know what I mean. Like he had a big strike zone for both teams. It wasn't one side getting all the calls. So he had people complaining to him from both teams when he on some called third strikes. Comes the 0-1 pitch. There goes DeNandre Clark. He's going to try and steal second. A good throw in, and they're going to get him down there at second base. Throwing him out, catching him stealing. So that's going to end the inning here for the Beavers, but they get one more and have a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the second inning, where due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths will be Ethan Whisker, Riley Palmer, and Jeff Smith, the 4, 5, 6 hitters. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the second inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler are with you here, bringing you this Sunday afternoon game between the Mammoths and the Beavers. The Beavers currently hold a 3-0 lead from a 2-run home run in the first inning from Nick Wilson, and then an RBI single just in the top half of this inning from DeNandre Clark. So Ethan Whisker will step in now. He had his first hit ever with the Mammoths last night.
It was a homer.
It was a 3-run home run to right field, as that one is going to be a ball 1-0.
Very tall player.
6'4", I believe he stands. Comes the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be a pitch inside, 2-0 now. He looks to continue on yesterday's success here in this ball game. He's going to ground that one. Nice play there by Rula, sliding to make the catch, but it's going to be a throw that pulls him off the bag. So Ethan Whisker will be safe down there at first on an infield single. By the way, Dan, that double from Dan Kennan was eventually ruled a single E9.
All right.
So Alex Abbott down there, when he bobbled it, was ruled an error. So it was just a single for Dan Kennan.
But still, great heads-up running from him on the base
Yes,
paths.
nonetheless. So Ethan Whisker on after an infield single. A throw down at first. Riley Palmer steps in now. Palmer did not play in last night's ball game. He's going to ground that one foul. We're on our first base with no outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. The Mammoths look to get a couple back here, make this a closer ball game as that's a ball outside. 1-1 now on Riley Palmer. Palmer may be only batting .219, but he's got some power in that bat. He has been known to hit them out on occasion. He's got 3 home runs so far this season with 11 RBIs on 16 hits.
So definitely got to be careful pitching to him as well.
There's the 1-1 pitch. He drives that one to right field on a line and caught just over top of the grass is DeAndre Clark. Great play by him. A quick throw in was off the mark, though, so they were not able to double up Ethan Whisker at first. But DeAndre Clark, great play by him, and a line drive from Riley Palmer. Jeff Smith will step in now, the shortstop for the Beavers, or the Mammoths, I'm sorry.
Had a frustrating night last night.
Yeah, Dan, he struck out 4 times and hit into a fielder's choice. Twice looking, twice swinging.
The golden sombrero.
And they're going to throw it on to first again, but he's going to be thrown away. So Ethan Whisker will advance to second base on it. He's going to go all the way to third because that throw went all the way over to the Beavers' dugout. So a poor throw from Jake Welch on the mound will allow Ethan Whisker to advance into scoring position. And that'll be an error on his part. So now Jeff Smith has a runner in scoring position and an RBI opportunity. Be a quick visit at the mound, and Newell does not look happy.
No, especially with that poor throw from him.
Saw him point at first base and third base. Clearly saying something about how Ethan Whisker advanced all the way to third on that bad throw. So with 1 out, there's a man at third base for Jeff Smith as he fouls that one off. 0-1 now. Here comes the 0-1. That'll be low for a strike, 0-2. Jeff Smith doesn't agree with that call.
And he didn't agree with most of the calls last night from the home plate umpire.
Well, he argued on both. They called third strikes on 2 of his strikeouts. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That'll be high for a ball. 1-2 now on Jeff Smith. Ethan Whisker down there at third base with 1 out here. Jeff Smith with an RBI opportunity to make it 3-1 and cut down on this deficit. Jake Welch, here's the delivery. He's going to foul tip that one off. No, he's going to swing and miss at that one in the dirt. So he, oh, no, he did foul tip it. I'm losing my mind here.
Barely got a piece of it.
So it'll remain 1-2, and Jeff Smith will stay alive. Jake Welch will look to get himself out of this little bit of trouble he's worked himself into after that throwing error. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch outside will be a ball. 2-2 now on Smith. Wind is blowing straight away center field. Comes the pitch. The 2-2 is on the inside corner, and Jeff Smith is rung up looking.
And he doesn't agree with the call.
Again.
Again.
And that's his 5th strikeout in just 2 days, so he's got to be pretty frustrated. Sean Wood will step in now with 2 outs and an opportunity to score a run.
Last night's ball game, he went 0 for 3.
He struck out 3 times. And the first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. All 3 of his strikeouts were swinging strikeouts, too. Comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to drive that one to left field. Mitashevsky on the run will make the catch, and that'll be it for the inning. So the Mammoths threaten but don't score. And we go to the top of the third, where it's still a 3-0 lead for the Beavers. When we come back, Brandon Rawl will continue his at-bat. Following him be Nick Wilson and Nick Buckner. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the third inning where Brandon Raw is set to resume his at-bat. He was at the plate when DeAndre Clark got caught stealing. He had a base hit back in the first inning. The first pitch to him, he's going to drive to center field. On the run is Farrell, and he will stop at the wall and watch that one go. Wow. So a solo shot on the first pitch he sees in the at-bat. He launches, and it'll be a 4-0 lead now for the Beavers, and the second home run in today's ball game. So a solo shot from Brandon Raw extends the lead for the Beavers. And now Nick Wilson will step in, and he had a home run himself in the first inning.
About the same area as DJ Martinez just hit this past one.
Yeah, both of them hit that to left center field. And that one, just like Nick Wilson's before, you pretty much knew it was gone off the bat. And Farrell was just jogging after that one. I think he knew as well, as he didn't have much of a chance on that one. That one hit the netting in front of the scoreboard, as that'll be a strike or a ball on the inside, 1-0.
So it's been a rough start for Jeremy Holcomb.
Jeremy Holcomb, who's normally dominant on the mound, is getting hit up early here from the Beavers, as the 1-0 is going to be fouled off. 2-0 now. Or 1-1, I'm sorry. Comes the 1-1 pitch, swinging a miss there. Or foul tipped that one into the catcher. So 1-2 now on Nick Wilson. As Kraus tries to walk that one off.
Yeah, he looked a little shaken up there, but he looks like he'll be okay.
So Holcomb sets. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be outside and get away from Kraus, as that one's in the dirt. 2-2 now. And that one was indeed a ball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be on the inside edge, and he gets Nick Wilson looking. So no 2 home runs in a row for Nick Wilson. So Nick Buckner will step in now with 1 out and a 4-0 lead. He grounded out to Blackstone his last time up. First pitch to Buckner will be on the outside corner, 0-1 now. The 0-1 is again on the outside edge, 0-2. The Beavers struck fast and struck early here in the ballgame with a 2-run home run from Nick Wilson, and they've tacked on a run in every inning since. As that pitch is going to be low away in the dirt. 1-2 now. A RBI single from DeAndre Clark in the second inning, and now here in the third inning, a solo shot from Brandon Raw makes it 4-0 in favor of the Beavers. That pitch almost hits Buckner inside. Count will fall even at 2 apiece as Buckner has to dodge out of the way of that one. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That'll be down low for a ball. Count will run full now at 3-2. Here comes the 3-2. He's going to ground that one over to the second baseman, R.J. Fuhr. He'll make the throw down to first, and that'll be 2 down here in the top of the third inning.
Now batting the catcher, number 17, Robert Lucido.
And so it'll be up to Robert Lucido to keep things going for the Beavers in the top of the third inning.
Yeah, he had a bloop single his first time up.
Yeah, Palmer, Furr, and Abbott all ran over to get that one, and it landed between them all. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat to Lucido. He swings and misses at that one.
That was a big rip.
0-1 now on him. Yeah, it was, Dan. At an 83-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. Comes the 0-1 pitch. That'll be down low in the dirt. 1-1 now. Jeremy Holcomb's fastballs can get up to 94 miles an hour. He's been struggling a bit with his command in this ball game, as the 1-1 is fouled off. 1-2 now.
Hey, he has made a couple bad mistakes.
He's left a couple hanging over the plate that's been just hammered to left center field. Comes the 1-2. That'll be down low for a ball. 2-2 now. Here comes the pitch from Holcomb. Swung on and grounded. Fair ball down to Blackstone. He'll throw it down to first. And Palmer has to get down in the dirt to make that catch, but he will. So that'll be it for the Beavers here in the top of the third. A solo shot from Brandon Raw will extend the lead to 4-0 for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. We go to the bottom half of the third, where due up for the Mammoths will be Nick Krause, Jobo Farrell, and R.J. Fuhr as they look to spark their offense and get a couple runs back. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here on this Sunday afternoon ball game between the Mammoths and the Beavers. It's the bottom half of the third inning. We'll set to lead it off for the Mammoths is Nick Kraus, the catcher. It's his first at-bat of the ball game. Kraus batting just .235 on the season so far. No hit or no home runs and 3 RBIs. Pitch inside will be a ball 1-0. 1-0 pitch. He's going to flare that one over to the second baseman, Rulis, where he gloves that one and makes the out. So now Joba Farrell will stand in.
He had a busy night last night, Brian.
Yeah, he had a really good game. He went 2 for 2. He had 2 for 4. He had a double and an RBI single. So he had a multi-hit game, and he's been looking to get that average up, much like R.J. Fear. So yesterday's game helps a ton. Let's hope he can continue and carry that over in today's ball game as he fouls the first pitch he sees off, 0-1. Jake Welch has had a strong first 2 innings so far. Yeah, it went 1, 2, 3 in the first, and he only gave up 1 hit in the second. Swinging a foul tip there from Joba Farrell. 0-2 now.
And he'll get a new baseball. Welch. As that one was going in the dirt after the foul tip.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Joba Farrell. That'll be in there for a strike, and Joba Farrell's going to strike out looking in his first at-bat of the ball game. And Jake Welch is just 1 out away from going 1, 2, 3 for the second time in today's ball game. R.J. Fear will come back up for his second at-bat. And he struck out swinging his first time up.
And it was Welch's first strikeout of this ball game.
R.J. Fear has been performing well lately. He went 1 for 3 yesterday with a base hit and 2 walks. The first pitch to him is a ball 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be inside for a ball 2-0. Here comes the 2-0. Be outside 3-0 now on R.J. Fear. R.J. Fear has 13 walks on the season. He knows how to take a pitch.
Yeah, he's very patient at the plate.
3-0 pitch will be down low for a strike. 3-1 now. The 3-1 pitch is in there for a strike. 3-2. Count will run full now. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. No men on, and a 4-0 deficit for the Mammoths as they look to try and get something going here. Here comes the delivery from Welch. It's going to be foul that one off, so it'll remain 3-2 now. R.J. Fear steps back in. The kick and the pitch from Welch. 3-2 pitch is going to be hit up the middle for a base hit. R.J. Fear is on with his first hit of the ball game.
And it's just what he needs to continue that batting average to get it up.
He continues to bring that average up. He's been hot lately, and he continues to bring it on here. Kent Blackstone will step back in now.
And that would be the Woolly Mammoth's second hit of the ball game.
First time up, Blackstone grounded over to the third baseman, Kennan. He's going to pop that one up behind the plate. That'll land in the foul territory. And the grandstands behind home plate. 0-1 on him now. Blackstone was my pick for player of the game.
And I don't blame you for picking him.
He's been hot lately, so I'm hoping he can carry that over. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That'll be just outside, 1-1 now. With a runner at first base and 2 outs, Blackstone looks to keep the inning alive for the Mammoths. As Welch sets, comes the delivery. 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Jake Welch. 1-2 now.
And a big cut there from Blackstone.
Looked like he missed over top of it. One-two pitch is check swing. Is going to get away from Lucido, and that's going to allow RJ Fuhr to advance to second. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Kent Blackstone. With a runner in scoring position, he can drive in the first run for the Mammoths today with a base hit here. Here comes the pitch. 2-2 pitches outside. Count will run full for the second time this inning. So 3-2 with 2 outs on Kent Blackstone and the Westside Woolly Mammoths here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Comes the kick and the pitch. He's going to ground that one through in the right side. That's going to be a ground ball base hit. They're going to wave RJ Fuhr around third. He's going to come in home, and he'll be safe. So
Brian,
Kent Blackstone has an RBI single in today's ball game.
You were right there.
So a ground ball base hit through the right side will score the first run for the Mammoths in today's ball game. It's 4-1 now. And Alex Abbott will step in. Dan, he'll look to keep the line moving.
Yeah, he flew out his first time up to the right fielder, DeAndre Clark.
Comes the first pitch to Abbott at the at-bat. It'll be low and away, 1-0. Comes the pitch. He's going to ground that one just fouled on the first base line. Good thing, too, because Wilson misplayed it. So 1-1 now on Abbott. Kent Blackstone broke to second on the play. Abbott's been having a good year so far, batting .274 with 16 RBIs and 4 home runs. Comes the delivery from, they're going to look back down to first. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Behind, they're going to throw down to second, and they're going to get Kent Blackstone attempting to steal.
Perfect throw there by Robert Lucido. Right on the target.
So Kent Blackstone gets caught stealing, and we're going to go to the top of the 4th inning. However, the Mammoths do get 1 run back, and it's going to be a 4-1 ball game where DJ Martinez will be due up for the Beavers in the top of the 4th inning. Following him will be Mike Metashevsky and Dan Kennan. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the fourth inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here. DJ Martinez stands in, and he'll take for a strike in his first pitch of the at-bat. Struck out looking his first time up. Oh, he's going to drive that one down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul. 0-2 now on him. He's just a little bit early on that pitch. Got a lot on it, however. 0-2 pitch is going to be high for a ball, 1-2.
It's been a kind of a rough start for Holcomb on the mound this afternoon.
Yeah, he's been roughed up. He came in today with a 2.54 ERA, but he's given up 3 earned runs, I believe, on 4 runs, as that one's flared over to right field. Abbott in makes the catch, and that'll be the first out. So now Mike Metashevsky will stand in.
He flew out to the left fielder, Sean Wood, his first time up. Metashevsky is hitting .294, has 5 hits and an RBI.
And that RBI came back on the 24th, the last time these two teams faced each other, back on last Saturday. That was a RBI in his first at-bat in the first inning on a base hit.
What a debut.
Got a little bit one-upped, though, by Brandon Schaefer and Whisker last night, with both of them having home runs at their first at-bats. 1-1 now on them. After that pitch missed low and away.
And I think Ethan Whisker won that battle between those two because he had a 3-run home run.
And that's going to be flared over to left center field. Farrell will make the catch. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the fourth inning. Dan Kennan will stand in. He reached last time up. He had a base hit and then ran all the way to second on a fielding error from Alex Abbott in right field.
Yeah, Kennan's hitting .270, has 17 hits, 4 RBIs.
The first pitch from Holcomb in the at-bat has Dan Kennan spinning out of the way, 1-0. Pitch is a ball, 2-0. Holcomb sets, comes the delivery. 2-0 pitch is on the outside edge for a strike, 2-1. Two-one pitch is going to be way over the head of Dan Kennan. And that one looked 50 Cent-esque.
Dan Kennan didn't even move on that one.
Yeah, and that one
right over him.
Thrown over his head. Normally when a pitch is thrown over the head, they tend to duck, but that was so over his head he didn't have to. That's a ball. It's going to be a walk for Dan Kennan. He's on for the second time today.
And that'll be Holcomb's only walk of the ball game so far.
So now Thomas Rulis will step in with 1 man on and 2 out here in the top of the fourth inning. Grounded out to the second baseman Fura's last time up.
He's hitting .264, has 19 hits, a homer, and 8 RBIs.
First pitch to Rulis will be low and away for a ball, 1-0. Dan Kennan down there at first base has a decent lead. So the 1-0 pitch is down low for a ball, 2-0 now. Two-0 pitch, you're going to throw it on the first, try to pick him off, and he gets back in safely. Dan Kennan has got to keep a close eye down there at first base as they're keeping an eye on him. And Cross is going to come out and talk to Holcomb.
Obviously, probably telling him definitely keep a close eye on him.
Comes the 3-0 pitch. That'll be in there for a strike. 3-1. 90-mile-an-hour fastball right over the heart of the plate. As that one's going to be flared over to right field. Abbott will make the catch, and that's going to be it for the inning. And we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning where it's still a 4-1 lead for the Beavers. And due up for the Mammoths will be Alex Abbott. Following him be Ethan Whisker and Riley Palmer. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the fourth inning, where due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths is Alex Abbott. Alex Abbott, last time up, flew out to the right fielder, DeAndre Clark. He was at bat at the bottom of the third inning, but when Kent Blackstone was caught stealing, that ended the inning. The Mammoths still trailing 4-1 here in the ball game, as the first pitch is going to scoot him out of the batter's box, as that was a ball way inside, 1-0.
And so far in this ball game, Welch has had a better start than Holcomb.
That is for certain, as Holcomb has given up 4 runs so far, 4 in 3 innings, as that one's going to be a ball away, 2-0. Last inning, the top of the fourth inning was the first inning where Jeremy Holcomb actually hasn't given up a run. And he was, coming into the ball game, he was actually, phenomenal.
Yes, he was.
So, I mean, every starter is going to have a bad game here and there. He's not going to be phenomenal all throughout the year. So we're giving him a mulligan. It's 3-0 now on Alex Abbott. Jake Welch, on the other hand, came into this ball game looking to bring his stats down, as he had an ERA of 4.20 and a WHIP of 1.53. And that pitch to Alex Abbott's going to be a strike, 3-1. Jake Welch has given up 1 earned run so far in today's ball game. He's also had a 1-2-3 inning back in the first. As the 3-1 pitch is going to be driven right field. That's going to hook foul and land in the bullpen for the Beavers. Got a lot on that one, but it was a little bit early on it. So now a 3-2 count on Alex Abbott. It's the third 3-2 count in a row for Jake Welch, as he finished the last inning with 2 of them. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That one's going to be flared high in the air into foul territory. Lucido on the run. And did not make the catch from what I can gather. Out of my view. So it'll remain 3-2 now on Alex Abbott.
Yeah, definitely those fans in the lower suites would have a better look than we have.
Yeah, and the diamond table's underneath. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. No man out here in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. They trail by 3 runs, a score of 4-1. As Jake Welch decides on a pitch. Here it comes. 3-2 pitch swung on a miss by Alex Abbott on a fastball low and away.
Great location there from Jake Welch.
Really fooled Alex Abbott on that one, so he'll go down on strikes.
That would be Welch's 3rd strikeout of the ball game.
Ethan Whisker will stand in now. He had a infield base hit back in the 2nd inning. That led off the inning. Comes the first pitch, and that'll be fouled off. 0-1 now on Whisker. Whisker in last night's ball game had a 3-run home run for his first hit with the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Can't get much better than that to start off your career in USPBL than hitting a home run.
Yeah, not at all, Brian. I completely agree with you there.
Comes the 0-1 pitch. That'll be a ball outside, 1-1 now. In case you're just tuning in, the Beavers got out to an early lead when Nick Wilson drilled one to left center field, a 2-run home run. As the 1-1 pitch comes in, that's going to be fouled off, 1-2 now. And then after that, a RBI single from DeAndre Clark in the top of the 2nd, and a solo shot from Brandon Raw to left center field in the 3rd gave them a 4-0 lead before the Mammoths finally got one back in the bottom half of the 3rd inning thanks to a Kent Blackstone RBI single. Comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss there as Ethan Whisker dusts off another one. I'm sorry, Jake Welch dusts off another one, getting Ethan Whisker swinging. So 2 swinging strikeouts in a row for Jake Welch on the mound. Now Riley Palmer will come and stand in. Flew out to DeAndre Clark his last time out in right field. As the first pitch to Palmer's going to be skied in the air to right field. Clark will come in and get underneath it, make the catch. That's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Jake Welch, his 2nd of the ball game.
Very great start for him.
It is a great start for him so far. And we go to the top of the 5th inning where due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will be DeAndre Clark, Brandon Raw, and Nick Wilson, all 3 of which have RBIs on today's ball game. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 lead for the Beavers as DeAndre Clark is set to lead it off. Jeremy Holcomb out there for his 5th inning of work. He finally settled things down in the 4th inning, only pitching a walk. Besides that, faced 4 batters in that inning.
And DeAndre Clark had an RBI single his last time up, but was also caught stealing.
Clark showing bunt there, pulls it back, but it's called a strike nonetheless. And we've seen a couple of players get thrown out on the base paths. Kraus and Lucido both have thrown out one each. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off. 0-2 now on Clark. He fouls that one into the netting right behind home plate. The Beavers have a 4-1 lead thanks to home runs from Raw and Nick Wilson. The 1-2-3 hitters in the lineup for the Beavers have been doing work early in this ball game so far, as that pitch is a ball 1-2 now. Here comes the delivery from Holcomb. The 1-2 pitch is going to be skied foul over top of the Westside Woolly Mammoths dugout. So it'll remain at 1-2. As Holcomb asks for a new ball. Holcomb, to this point in the ball game, has given up 6 hits and 4 runs as the 1-2 pitch comes in and be way low and inside. Count will fall even at 2-2, and that's not something we normally see from Holcomb.
No, he's been, before this ball game, been outstanding all season to start. So hopefully, I mean, you're always going to have that one off day.
And the 2-2 pitch is going to be outside. Count will run full now at 3-2. And another mark of a great pitcher is how well they handle the bad days. If they let it get to them and it just continues to fall apart, or if they can come back out on the mound and just forget about it. As that one skied in the air to shallow left field. Wood is in, calls off Smith, will make the catch, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So Brandon Raw will step in now.
He had the solo shot back in his last time up.
Back in the 3rd inning. He's 2 for 2 in total. He also has a base hit. Came around to score then, too, thanks to the 2-run home run from Nick Wilson. So he's been very active at the plate and on the base paths. Came over from the Unicorns just last weekend. That pitch high is going to be called a ball, 1-0 now. The home run from Raw was his 5th on the season, his 1st with the Beavers, as that's going to be a strike, 1-1. Comes the delivery from Holcomb. It's going to be high again, 2-1 now. The 2-1 pitch is going to be swung and tipped foul, 2-2. Brandon Raw just barely getting a piece of that one.
Yeah, he had an awkward swing there.
So he was chasing a ball high. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 lead for the Beavers. The 2-2 pitch is driven high in the air into right field. Abbott is underneath it out there and will make the catch, and that'll be 2 outs here in the top of the 5th.
Now batting the first baseman, number 6, Nick Wilson.
So Nick Wilson will step in now. He is 1 for 2 in today's ball game, but we all remember the one hit he does have.
That was 2-run home run.
It was a monster home run over there in the left field, hitting the netting in front of the scoreboard.
And that's where we've seen him hit plenty of times.
Seems to have a penchant for hitting the ball over there. The first home run we saw him hit this year was straight away center field. And he's just got a lot of power in that bat as he fouls off that one, and it's 0-1 now.
You remember that one hit when he broke his bat?
Oh, yes. I believe that was last weekend, or the weekend before, where he broke his bat and still had an RBI single off the wall. As he swings and misses at that one. 0-2 on him now. Missing on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. As here comes the delivery from Holcomb. He's going to ground that one through the 5.5 hole down there, and it'll be a ground ball base hit in the left field. So Nick Wilson is on for a second time today, and he's got himself a multi-hit ball game. So now Nick Buckner will step in to try and keep the inning going. He's 0 for 2 so far today with 2 groundouts.
He's hitting .273, has 21 hits, a homer, and 6 RBIs.
First pitch to him is going to be a ball, 1-0. Last time the Beavers played the Mammoths, back last Saturday, Buckner went 1 for 5. He had that one hit he did have was a double, and he came around to score. He's going to sky that one foul down the left field line. Be 1-1 now. The 1-1 pitch is going to be in there for a strike, hitting the outside corner, or inside corner. 1-2 now. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning with a runner at first base and a 4-1 lead for the Beavers as that pitch is going to be outside. Count will fall even at 2 apiece. Home runs today from Wilson and Raw have done most of the damage for the Beavers. The only RBI for the Mammoths today has come courtesy of Kent Blackstone in the 3rd inning, a RBI single. He's going to strike out swinging there. And that'll be it for the Beavers in the top of the 5th inning. We've played half a game of ball here at Jimmy John's Field, and when we come back in the bottom of the 5th, it's going to be Jeff Smith set to lead it off. After that will be Sean Wood and Nick Krause. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 5th inning where Jeff Smith is set to lead it off. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here, bringing you this game on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon.
Yes, it is, Brian.
Clear
and
blue skies.
it's great seeing the fans come out to the ballpark on this beautiful Sunday.
I have to agree with you there with the sky clear and the temperature very moderate.
Yes.
It's a perfect day for baseball.
It's great seeing the little kids as well out here.
As that pitch is going to be skied high in the air in a foul territory. Lucido on a full sprint. Wilson is not going to get there as that ball bounces into the Beavers' dugout. So it'll be 0-1 on Jeff Smith. Smith has struck out looking in today's ball game.
And he's been frustrated lately at his appearances. Last night wasn't too good for him, striking out 4 times.
Comes the 0-1 pitch to Jeff Smith. He's going to foul that one directly straight back. 0-2 now.
Kids also enjoying Minions are here at the ballpark. Now, remember you saying yesterday you're not a big fan of them.
No, not at all. As the 0-2 pitch is going to be way outside. 1-2 now. So the Mammoths currently trail at 4-1. They look to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-2 pitch is fouled off again by Jeff Smith. The Mammoths only have 3 hits so far. The Beavers have 7. Both have an error, and obviously, like I mentioned, it's 4-1 in favor of the Beavers. As the 1-2 pitch comes in, he's going to sky that one towards right field. Clark will be underneath it, take a few steps in, and make the catch, and Jeff Smith will be out. At least he didn't strike out this time.
Yeah.
So Sean Wood will step in now. He flew out to left field. And Jeff Smith has just had a stroke of bad luck lately.
Yes, he has, and you know what? I bet you he's going to be working on that.
I think
their off days.
I think he's just getting a little impatient at the plate. If he were to settle down and just not let it get to him, he probably would, because he's a talented hitter. He's got almost 20 hits on the season already, and several RBIs.
Just his past couple of games.
Yeah, he's just had a stroke of bad luck.
Yeah.
So
Just
0-1
hasn't been
on
himself.
0-1 on Sean Wood. He'll be fine in the long run. I'm sure he'll get through it. He's a talented baseball player and a great shortstop. 0-1 pitch is down low, 1-1 now on Wood. He's going to drive that one foul over to the Beavers dugout. 1-2 now. So Jake Welch will finally decide on a pitch. Here comes the delivery from him. 1-2 pitch can be grounded foul again. Remain 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be driven straight away center field. Raw on the move will get underneath it and make the catch just shy of the warning track. And that'll be 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So Nick Krause will step in. Popped out to Thomas Rulis his first time out. Actually lined out.
Yeah. Krause is hitting .235 of the season, has 4 hits and 3 RBIs.
And that pitch is going to be outside 1-0. Delivery from Welch is inside. 2-0 now on Nick Krause. Nick Krause behind the plate in today's ball game. He has thrown out Andre Clark trying to steal, and that's a tough guy to throw out. He's got a lot of speed. So that pitch is going to be way inside. 3-0 now.
It was right on target.
Yes, it was, and it's quite impressive. If anyone can throw out to Andre Clark, as he's known as a serious threat on the base paths, one of the biggest threats for the Beavers when it comes to base running.
Yeah, you can bet he had a smile on his face once he threw him out.
Robert Lucido also has also thrown out Kent Blackstone in today's ball game.
And that's another tough one to get out as well.
As the 3-0 pitch is coming in, that's going to be a strike in the bottom half of the zone. 3-1 now. Comes the 3-1 pitch. It's going to be grounded over to the second baseman, Rulis. Rulis will make the toss down to first, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning.
Another one, Brian.
So Jake Welch is cruising in today's ball game so far. And we go to the top half of the 6th inning. We're due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will be Robert Lucido. Following him be DJ Martinez, Mike Metashevsky, and Dan Kennan. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 6th inning where Robert Lucido is set to lead it off, and Jeremy Holcomb is back on the mound for his 6th inning of work. And he has done a great job of really settling things down after having a rough first 3 innings.
Yes, he has, Brian.
And I think that's just a testament to how great of a pitcher he is on the mound for the Mammoths as he grounds that one over to the first baseman. Holcomb over to cover and will make the play. So the first pitch Robert Lucido sees, he grounds out to the first baseman. So DJ Martinez will step in. Now he's 0 for 2. DJ Martinez struck out looking in the first inning, then flew out to Abbott in right field last time. First pitch to him is going to be a ball low, 1-0.
Martinez hitting .209, has 14 hits and 8 RBIs.
As that pitch will be in there for a strike, 1-1 now. Here comes the delivery from Holcomb. He's going to chop that one back towards the mound, go off the glove of Holcomb, and a throw down to first from Fuhr will get him. So Holcomb will get an assist on that one, so it'll be a 1-4-3. So Mike Metashevsky will come up with 2 outs, and that swing from Martinez was kind of half-hearted.
Yes, it was, and lucky enough, after hitting off of Holcomb's glove, we went to the second baseman.
R.J. Fuhr was still able to make the play despite having to readjust back there after it got deflected. So Mike Metashevsky will stand in. He's 0 for 2 today.
Flew out twice to the left fielder. First time up, Sean Wood, and then flew out to the center fielder, Joba Farrell. And the Roy Mammoths do have action in their bullpen.
Swing and a miss there from Metashevsky, 1-1. Yeah, I have to imagine, Dan, that this is Jeremy Holcomb's last outing as he's in the high 90s already for pitch count.
Yeah, his warming up is the right-hander, Travis McQueen.
The 1-1 pitch swung on a miss from Metashevsky, and I can't imagine if he gives up a base hit, I think that'd probably be it for him anyways, as I don't think that Shane McCaddy's going to want him to go much further than 100 pitches.
Yeah, let's just hope he gets out of this inning and McQueen will possibly come in next.
It's the 1-2 pitch. It checks a swing on that one. Their appeal down to first say didn't go, so count will fall even at 2 apiece. So Jeremy Holcomb, if he can get out of this inning, will have bounced back nicely in the last 3 innings of his pitching performance. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss on that one, and he did go around, so that'll be a strikeout swing. So a 1-2-3 inning to end his pitching performance. Jeremy Holcomb bounces back nicely and has a scoreless last 3 innings. So he has 101 pitches total in today's ball game. And we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, where due up for the Mammoths will be Joba Farrell, R.J. Fuhr, and Kent Blackstone. And we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 6th inning, where Jake Welch is out for his 6th inning of work.
He's done a great so far this afternoon, Brian.
Yeah, Dan, he's only given up 3 hits in 5 innings pitched so far and 1 earned run. He's been great so far for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. So now with Joba Farrell standing in, looking to get his first hit of the ball game. He's had 1 at-bat so far, and he struck out looking in it. 1-0 on him now.
But he had a busy night last night.
Going to check a swing on that one, and he did not go. It's going to be 2-0 now. The 2-0 pitch is going to be outside 3-0 now. And yeah, Dan, like you mentioned, Joba Farrell had I know it's a little late, you said that a couple minutes ago, had a very busy night last night. He was responsible for a lot of the putouts out there in center field, as that one's in for a strike, 3-1.
And he also went 2 for 4, had a hit double and an RBI single.
I have him down for 6 putouts yesterday in yesterday's ball game, and there was only 1 fly ball that was not hit to him in the outfield, and that was in the 8th inning, which was hit to Wilkie, or I'm sorry, yes, Wilkie in left field. So the 3-2 pitch comes in. It's going to be outside, and Joba Farrell is going to draw a walk. R.J. Fuhr will step in now. He is 1 for 2 today. That base hit came in the 3rd inning, where he also stole second.
And that just happened to be Welch's only walk of this ball game.
Yeah, he's performed very well on the mound today, and he's only given up the 3 hits to this point so far. The Mammoths have been struggling to figure him out. The first pitch to Fuhr of the at-bat is in there for a strike, 0-1. Leadoff walks tend to come around to hurt, though, so let's hope that Jake Welch can find himself a way out of this inning. As the 0-1 pitch is skied over into right field. On the run is Clark. He'll stop shy of the warning track to make the catch. Tagging up is Joe Farrell, but he'll think twice and retreat back to first. So now Kent Blackstone will step in.
He's your pick for player of the game.
He's got the lone RBI for the Mammoths as well. And when he hit for a single in the third inning. Was caught stealing, however, from a great throw from Nick Lucido behind the plate. Other than that, he just has a ground out. So with one out and a man at first, he looks to keep things going here and possibly move Farrell into scoring position. Want to watch Farrell, too, because he will steal as Jake Welch fakes a throw back to first.
Hey, he has a couple stolen bases already this season.
Kent Blackstone lays down a bunt on the first base line. That's going to move Farrell over, and he will be thrown out, however. So Farrell will be moved into scoring position now as Kent Blackstone is thrown out at first. So the number 3 hitter in the lineup, Alex Abbott, will step in with a RBI opportunity and a chance to cut down on this deficit and make it 4-2. So runner at second base, 2 outs. First pitch to Abbott's going to be bounced in there in the dirt, 1-0. This is only the 3rd time today that a runner has advanced past first base on Jake Welch. He's done a great job of keeping them off the base paths overall. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss there from Alex Abbott on a big rip on the 82-mile-an-hour pitch high. 1-1 now. Joe Farrell still out there at second base. He advanced on the ground ball out from Kent Blackstone on the bunt attempt. Ground ball down the first base line will make it 1-2. One balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base here in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 4-1 lead for the Beavers as the Mammoths look to mount a comeback. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That'll be outside and high. Count will fall even at 2 apiece. Two-two pitch is going to be tipped foul. So he will stay alive to see another pitch. He's going to do everything he can here just to stay alive and give his team every opportunity to score here.
Yeah, Rolling Mammoths right now just only have 3 hits in this ball game.
They've only been on base a total of 4 times. 3 hits and 1 walk. And it's the 6th inning here, so they really got to get those bats going. Last night they had a plethora of hits.
Yes,
they
they
scored
have.
8 runs, as that's going to be a pitch outside, and count will run full now at 3-2.
Some of those runs came in the 5th.
6 of them came in the 5th inning and 2 in the 8th to really put the game out of reach for the Utica Unicorns in last night's ball game. Kent Blackstone having himself a day with 3 RBIs. Swing and a miss there from Alex Abbott, and he's going to go down on strikes as that one's tipped into the glove of Robert Lucido. So that will be it for the inning. We've played 6 complete innings here at Jimmy John's Field, and it's still a 4-1 lead for the Beavers. And we go to the top half of the 7th, where leading off for the Beavers will be Dan Kennan, Thomas Rulis, and Denandre Clark. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 7th inning where we have a new pitcher on the mound, Dan.
Yes, we do. It's the right-hander, Travis McQueen.
Travis McQueen has an ERA of about 5.16, so he'll be looking towards this relief appearance to really calm things down for him. As Dan Cannon stands in, he fouls off the first pitch. McQueen started off the season very strong, but he fell on some rough times here, and he looks to bounce back. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Be outside 1-1 now. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from McQueen. It's going to be down low, 2-1 now. The 2-1 pitch is low again, 3-1 now.
McQueen takes over for Holcomb, who had a rough start, but started to groove in his later outing.
The delivery from McQueen is drilled to right field, and Abbott will be underneath it and make the catch. So first out of the inning here for Travis McQueen and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. So Thomas Rulis will come in. Look to get a hit here, his first hit of the ball game. He's flew out in his last attempt. First pitch to Rulis is going to be a ball outside. He shows bunt but pulls it back, however. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Travis McQueen. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss there from Rulis.
That was a big cut.
Yes, it was. As he swings and misses at a ball outside, another 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Comes a delivery from McQueen. That'll be down low, 2-1. McQueen relying heavily on his fastball here early in this relief appearance. As the pitch from him is in, and it is a ball low, 3-1. Having some trouble hitting the strike zone here in the first two batters. Did manage to fly out Dan Kennan. It's a second 3-ball count already as the pitch comes in, and that'll be low, and he'll walk Thomas Rulis. So now there'll be a man on with a man out here in the top of the 7th inning for DeAndre Clark. DeAndre Clark has an RBI single back in the 2nd inning, but most recently flew out to the left fielder, Sean Wood. Throw it on a first, and Rules will get back in safely.
That happened to be McQueen's 8th walk of the season.
And that'll be a strike on the outside edge, and that was a generous strike zone there from the umpire. And it'll be 0-1 on DeAndre Clark. Clark getting signs from Chris Newell down there at third base. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed there, 0-2.
McQueen really had him fooled on that one.
There's an off-balance swing from Clark as he spun around after taking the swing. He's going to foul that one off, and it'll remain 0-2 now. In case you're just tuning in, the Beavers got out to an early lead when Nick Wilson hit a 2-run home run in the 1st inning. And they tacked on a run in the 2nd and the 3rd thanks to RBI single from DeAndre Clark as that one's grounded over to the 2nd baseman. Mishandled by Fuhr, and everyone's going to be safe. So Clark will reach safely on an E4. Speaking of, and Brendan Raw will come up to bat now, and speaking of him, he hit a solo shot in the 3rd to give a 4-0 lead for the Beavers. And then the RBI single from Kent Blackstone gave the Mammoths their first run of the ball game, making it 4-1. So we have runners at first and second here in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out, and Brandon Raw has a chance to get another RBI here with Rulis at second base.
It happened to be Raw's first homer with the Beavers.
Yeah, he's got 5 on the season now, but yeah, like you said, Dan, it was the first with the Beavers as he was brought over to them from the Utica Unicorns. 0-1 now. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to drill that one to left field on a line, and underneath it will be Wood. He'll make the catch, and that'll be the second out of the inning as the runners will have to stay put. So now Nick Wilson will step in. He had himself a 2-run bomb back in the first inning. Hit for a base hit most recently, however, back in the 5th. It's going to be a pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Runners at first and second with 1 ball, no strikes, with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Beavers look to extend their lead here as the 1-0 pitch is inside again, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and tipped foul, 2-1 now. McQueen decides on a pitch and sets. Here comes the delivery. He's going to drive that one through for a base hit in the left field. They're going to wave Thomas Rulis around third base, and that's going to get past Wood out in left field as he bobbled it, and they're going to score another run on the play, and that is going to be a 2 RBI play for Nick Wilson. So a base hit with 2 RBIs.
Yeah, Sean Wood just had trouble staying in front of that.
He will advance to second on an E7, and I was watching the runners around third, Dan, so I didn't quite see what happened. All I saw was all of a sudden the ball was trickling over to the warning track. So Buckner will stand in now on a strike on the outside edge, 0-1. One pitch will be outside. 1-1 now. Nick Wilson out there on second base put himself in a good position to be player of the game with 4 RBIs in today's ball game with a 2-run home run and a 2 RBI single.
And guess what, Brian? He was my pick as well.
Yeah, you copped out there.
Whatever you say.
I can't really talk because I picked Kent Blackstone, who was really hot. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there from Buckner, and the count will fall even at 2 apiece. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base here in the top of the 7th inning, and the Beavers have extended their lead to 6-1 here after the 2 RBI single from Wilson. 2-2 pitch is skied foul. Will remain even now as Buckner will stay alive to see another pitch. Two pitches outside. Count will run even now at 3-2, and that it'll only actually be 1 RBI for Nick Wilson, as the second one won't be accredited to him because of the fact that it was an error by Wood out in left field. Swing and a miss there from Buckner. He goes down on strikes. That's going to end the inning, but not before the Beavers strike and get 2 more runs across the plate thanks to an RBI single from Nick Wilson. So when we come back, it's going to be the bottom of the 7th inning where the Mammoths are going to have Ethan Whisker up to bat. Following him be Riley Palmer and Jeff Smith. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. It is 7th inning stretch time here at Jimmy John's Field. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dolber with you here, bringing you this Sunday afternoon matchup between the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths.
And Brian, we have a pitching change.
Yes, we do. Jake Welch's day is done as Kevin Martin will take over on the mound as he faces off against Ethan Whisker. He's going to sky that ball into foul territory. 0-1 on him now. And Jake Welch had a
great start.
Yeah, wonderful performance today on the mound. 6 innings pitched with 3 hits. 1 earned run, a walk, and 5 strikeouts, and possibly his best performance so far into this season. And let's hope he can keep that one going and roll with it for the rest of the season to come. And now Kevin Martin will be on the mound as it's 1-1 now on Ethan Whisker.
Martin has 8 innings pitched. He has given up 4 hits, has 13 strikeouts, has given up a run which was earned, an ERA of 104, and a whip of 104.
So 1-2 now on Ethan Whisker as Martin, the power arm out of the bullpen for the Beavers, is on the mound. That 103 ERA isn't just for show. He's earned that one in the 8.1 innings pitched he's done so far. 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Ethan Whisker. 90-mile-an-hour fastball dusts him off. It's the second strikeout for him in today's ballgame. Now Riley Palmer will step up to bat. He's 0 for 2 today. Dan Palmer has flown out to DeAndre Clark in right field both times today. And Kevin Martin will have to deal with a left-handed hitter here.
And let's hope he just breaks that trend, doesn't go that way, and actually gets on for a hit.
Checks a swing on that one, but it's going to be a strike nonetheless, 0-1.
Because the Woolly Mammoths are running out of time here.
We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. They have just eight outs left to overcome this 6-1 deficit. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off. 0-2 now on Palmer. There's a defensive shift on Riley Palmer. The 0-2 pitch is outside, 1-2. The second baseman, Thomas Rulis, is playing in the outfield and right field, shallow right field. The shortstop Martinez is playing where Rulis normally would, with Kennan playing between the second or shortstop and third base position as Palmer goes down on strikes, and 2 strikeouts in a row for Kevin Martin now.
So he's doing his job so far.
So now Jeff Smith will come into bat. He is 0 for 2 today.
Getting the first 2 batters on strikeouts.
Yes, he's done a great job so far to start in this relief appearance as he looks to possibly strike out the side. You don't see many of those. The first pitch to Jeff Smith is going to be in the dirt, and he's going to have to raise his foot out of the way as that one almost hit him. 1-0 now.
And Jeff Smith, we talked about him before, just needs to work on being patient at the plate. He's been frustrated lately with his appearances.
It's all mental at this point as he fouls that one off, and it's 1-1 now.
But like we said, he's an outstanding player, outstanding hitter.
Yeah, he's just been too impatient at the plate. He's so frustrated, and the more he strikes out, the more frustrated he gets, and the less patient he gets, and it's just going to accumulate. He just needs to take a breather and relax. He needs to realize that he's got a lot of talent, as that's a strike. 1-2. Because getting frustrated and then just swinging the bat haphazardly isn't going to do you any good either. Comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to hit that one for a base hit into right field and finally gets a stroke of luck here. As he hits for a base hit here in the 7th inning for his first hit of the ballgame.
Just what he needed, Brian.
So now with 2 outs and a man on, Sean Wood will step in. His team trailing 6-1. He'll try to get something going for the Westside Woolly Mammoths here.
He flew out twice in his ball game. His first time up flew out to the left fielder, Mike Mashevsky, and his second time up flew out to the center fielder, Brandon Raw.
He's going to sky that one into foul territory. Kennan on the run, but it'll land in the left field patio. So 0-1 on him now. It's going to be a ball high and outside, 1-1 now. One pitch is going to be inside, 2-1 now. Jeff Smith down there at first base is a stealing threat. You want to keep an eye on him. And I'm sure Kevin Martin's got that going on in the back of his mind. Comes the 2-1 pitch. That'll be low and away. 3-1 now as that one was in the dirt. Kevin Martin, after striking out the first 2 batters, has got himself a 3-1 count against Sean Wood. The 3-1 pitch is going to hit the outside corner for a strike. Count will run full now at 3-2.
He's just 1 pitch away trying to get out of this inning.
The 3-2 pitch, he's going to sky that one foul, and he'll stay alive to see another pitch as Jeff Smith will have to retreat back to first. There goes Smith then. That's going to be a ball high, and they'll walk Sean Wood. So we have 2 runners on here in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 men out. And Nick Kraus will come in with an opportunity to score a run and cut down on this deficit here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Kraus is 0 for 2 today. He lined out to the second baseman, Thomas Rulis, back in the 3rd, and then grounded out to the second baseman, Rulis again.
As he grounds that one over to the third baseman, Kennan. A quick throw down to first. Is going to pull Nick Wilson off the bag, but he managed to tag it in time, and that's going to be it for the Mammoths. They threaten but don't score. As they stray in 2, we go to the top half of the 8th inning, where due up for the Beavers will be Robert Lucido, DJ Martinez, and Mike Metashevsky. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 8th inning. We're due up for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will be Robert Lucido, and Dan, we have another change on the mound.
Yes, it's the right-hander Ronel Perez.
And Travis McQueen in his relief appearance is the first pitch to Lucido is going to be a ball high and away, 1-0. Went 1 inning pitched, giving up 1 hit. With 1 walk, he gave up 2 runs, and only 1 of which was earned, however, and struck out 1. None of the runs were earned, correction, as that's right, Denontre Clark reached on an error down there at first base.
This is our first glance at him in his USPBL career.
It's 3-0 on Robert Lucido.
For Perez.
Comes the 3-0 pitch from Perez. That'll be on the outside edge for a strike, 3-1.
He's from Daisy, Tennessee.
3-1 pitch is going to be down low. He's going to walk the leadoff man, Robert Lucido. And you never want to walk the leadoff man because freebies tend to come around to hurt you. And especially when you're making your debut, you want to usually leave a good impression. So let's see if he can work his way out of it here. DJ Martinez has stepped in. He is 0 for 3 so far today. Still looking to get his first hit of the ball game. It's going to be a ball high 1-0. Pitch is going to be driven to left center field on the line. Farrell on the run will make the catch. A quick throw back in is going to prevent Robert Lucido from advancing too.
He had a long run to get that one, Brian.
Yes, he did, as he ran from center field over to close to the warning track in left center and caught that one in stride. So Mike Metashevsky will step in. He's 0 for 3 as well. There's one out here in the top of the 8th inning with a man on. The Beavers have a 6-1 lead. In case you're just tuning in, Nick Wilson hit a 2-run home run back in the first inning to give the Beavers a 2-0 lead, and then an RBI single from DeAndre Clark and a solo shot from Brandon Arall made it 4-1. And that'll be a strike. 0-1 now on Mike Metashevsky. Then the Mammoths finally got on the board thanks to an RBI single from Kent Blackstone. And that's going to be a ball 1-1. Following that, a RBI single from Nick Wilson scored 1 run, and then it was bobbled in left field by Wood, and that's allowed another to score. So that's how we got to the 6-1 ball game it's at now, as that one's grounded over to the third baseman. He's going to bobble it, however. Blackstone will not have a play to make, and that's going to allow both runners to reach safely. So an E5 puts runners at first and second with only one out here in the top of the 7th inning. Or top of the 8th inning, correction. Dan Kennan will stand in. So 1 for 2 today. He had a base hit that came around to score, a walk, and most recently, however, has flown out to right fielder Alex Abbott. The Beavers can extend their lead here with a base hit that could score Robert Lucido. Comes the first pitch to Kennan. Kennan's going to take it for a strike, 0-1.
And Brian, the Woolly Mammoths do have action in their bullpen. It's the lefty Jared Gaynor getting loose.
As the bullpen arms for the Mammoths have been active for the most part of today's game. Holcomb came out and was struggling in the early innings, but he settled it down for the last 3. Only gave up 1 hit in the 4th, 5th, and 6th inning combined. It's 0-2 now on Dan Kennan. So he did a great job of settling himself down, and I think that speaks to how good of a pitcher he is. Despite the fact that he had a rough start, he was still able and capable of having a good last 3 innings and not letting it get to him. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Kennan, as he's going to step out. And it'll be a ball 1-2. Jeremy Holcomb technically had a quality start. He went 6 innings pitched and gave up 4 runs, but only 3 were earned. Comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to check a swing on that one. That went off his bat, so it's going to have to throw down to first, and a bad throw. But with Mike Metashevsky returning to first, he'll be out nonetheless. So it'll be 2 outs here. So a strikeout swinging for Dan Kennan, and Thomas Rulis will come in with 2 outs to try and score a run and extend the lead. Rulis is 0 for 2 today. He had a walk back in the 7th inning. That's the only way he's gotten on base today. Came around to score when Nick Wilson hit that base hit to left field. That first pitch to him is going to be a ball low and away, 1-0. 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Renewal Perez. I knew I was going to struggle with that one. It's going to take me a while. Comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to drive that one down the third base line, but it'll be foul. So 1-1 now on Rullis.
And Brian, you're not the only one that struggles with the names. I do as well.
Every once in a while we come across one that stumps us.
Yes.
Metashevsky was one that took us a while.
For me, it's still. And also
DeShazer, I'll say it for you. As the 1-1 pitch comes in, that'll be high, 2-1. So runners at first and second, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning for Thomas Rullis. The 2-1 pitch is going to be outside, 3-1 now on Rullis. Rob Lucido led off the inning with a walk. And then Mike Metashevsky reached first safely on an error just a couple moments ago. Comes the 3-1 pitch. It'll be fouled in the netting behind home plate, so count will run full at 3-2 now. Renewal Perez trying to get out of the inning. Have a scoreless inning here. Would do wonders for the Mammoths as they allowed 2 last inning. Perez sets. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. He's going to drive that one over the head of R.J. Fury. Oh, off his glove, and he almost had that one. And that's going to allow 1 run to score. As he's going to get caught in a pickle there. He's going to have plenty of time to get back to first as no one is covering first base. So Thomas Rullis almost got caught in a pickle. But with no one covering first, he just had to out-sprint Renewal Perez. Or out-sprint Riley Palmer, I mean. Renewal Perez was behind home plate covering there. So an RBI single for Thomas Rullis makes it a 7-1 lead, and now we have runners at the corners with 2 outs for Denandre Clark. He already has an RBI in today's ball game back in the 2nd inning. 1 for 4 in total. It's going to be a pitch low and inside, 1-0.
Yeah, it just hasn't gone the Woolly Mammoths' way this afternoon.
No, it hasn't. There's been a lot of unearned runs today. Only 3 of the runs that have scored today have been earned runs. So the Mammoths' errors have come around to bite them in the butt. As that's going to be a ball as well. 2-0 now on on Denandre Clark. Renewal Perez is pitching. There's going to be a meeting at the mound between him and Kraus.
Just trying to get on the same page.
Potentially trying to calm him down. He's after that base hit just a moment ago. He has runners at the corners, and they're trying not to give up any more runs. Comes the 2-0 pitch. He's going to fly that one foul. 2-1 now on Clark. Clark is a dangerous hitter behind the plate, or at the plate. Coming into the day with a 3.6-9 batting average, 10 RBIs and 31 hits. Now he's got 32 hits with 11 RBIs. Comes the 2-1. He's going to sky that one into the netting right behind home plate. Count will fall even now at 2 apiece. The 2-2 pitch is going to be skied into foul territory. He'll remain alive. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th inning with runners at the corners. It's a 7-1 lead here in the top of the 8th after an RBI single from Thomas Rullis. Here comes the pitch from Perez. Going to be outside, so the count will run full now at 3-2. Comes the 3-2, and that's going to walk Denandre Clark, so the bases will be loaded now for the Beavers in the top half of the 8th inning. Brennan Raw will step in. He's got himself a multi-hit game, Dan.
Yes, he does, and been outstanding, especially with that solo home run, which happened to be his second home run with the Beavers.
His first home run with the Beavers actually came back on Thursday. It was a go-ahead home run as well.
We sometimes forget with all these games played here with these players.
And the Mammoths are going to go back to the bullpen. Perez's day is done. Goes 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 2 hits, gives up 1 hit and walks 2. Strikes out 1 and gives up 1 run, but it was not earned. So another unearned run for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Have really done the damage today.
And taking over on the mound is the left-hander Jared Gaynor for the Woolly Mammoths.
Jared Gaynor, who we saw warming up earlier.
Gaynor this season has 31 innings pitched, has 2 wins, 2 losses, 29 hits he has given up, has 32 strikeouts, and has given up 8 runs which were earned, has an ERA of 2.38 and a whip of 1.18. And he's from Cave Creek, Arizona.
He's got a solid ERA, like you mentioned, Dan, at 2.29. He's going to come in and try and get the last out here in the top of the 8th inning. So if the Mammoths can try and mount a comeback.
What a great crowd on hand we have at Jimmy John's Field on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, Sunday afternoons tend to be one of the more packed nights. And we have a game tomorrow afternoon as well for the 4th of July.
Yes, we do.
5-game weekend here, 4th of July weekend. It's going to be a 1:35 start as well.
Today was Minions Day as well here at the ballpark.
Yes, it was. We had a couple minions running around taking photos with the children. So Brennan Raw will step in now to face Jared Gaynor. First pitch to Raw is going to be a ball inside, 1-0. Runners still at the corners with 2 outs here in the top half of the 8th inning. Swing and a miss there from Raw, 1-2 or 1-1 now. RBI single from Thomas Rulis earlier this inning. Scored another run, making it 7-1. As the 1-1 pitch is going to be hit into the gap in right center field. That's going to get down. That's going to score 2 more runs and make it 9-1 as Raw is going to stop at first base. And runners remain at the corners, and it's now a 9-1 ball game.
And it just keeps getting worse and worse for the Woolly Mammoths.
So now Nick Wilson will step in. He's got himself 3 RBIs on today's game. He's having a great game. He's 3 for 4.
He was also my pick for player of the game.
He's got 2 base hits and a 2-run home run. So now Jared Gaynor will step in and try to get that final out against him. He's going to foul that one off. 0-1 on him. Comes the 0-1 pitch. I'll be outside, 1-1 now on Nick Wilson. So runners at the corners, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. The Beavers have tagged down 3 more runs to go up 9-1 in this ball game and really put it out of the reach for the Mammoths. As that pitch is going to be inside, 2-1 now on Wilson.
Nick Wilson, definitely a hitter you have to be careful with, especially with the location of your pitches. Because he can hit them and hit them deep.
He can hit with the best of them. He's hit balls to center field. A lot of his home runs are to center field. We've seen him hit one behind the wall or behind the hill in right field, and we've seen him break his bat and still hit it off the wall.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's a great hitter.
As the 2-1 pitch comes in, he swings and misses at that one. So count will fall even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-run home run from Wilson back in the first gave the Beavers an early 2-0 lead, and they really haven't looked back since. There was an RBI single from Clark, a solo shot from Raw. Then in the 7th inning, an RBI single from Nick Wilson scored 2 more runs. As he drives that one to center field, Farrell will get underneath it, make the catch, and that's finally going to end the inning for the Beavers. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning where the Westside Woolly Mammoths now trail it by 8 runs. So when we come back, leading off for the Mammoths is going to be Joba Farrell, following him be R.J. Fuhr and Kent Blackstone. So please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here on this matchup between the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers and Westside Woolly Mammoths.
And Brian, we have a new pitching change.
Yes, we do, as Trevor Jonich is on the mound, taking over for Kevin Martin.
So far, we only seen him in 1 game, and he has given up a hit and has a strikeout. Of course, ERA is 0, and WHIP is 3.
Meanwhile, Farrell grounds that one over to the third baseman, Kennan. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Jonich struck out that one batter back in the 8th inning of, I believe it was Thursday's ball game.
Yep.
And he struck out Chris Power. So a heck of a guy to strike out there. Power's been known to hit the ball far. And it's also nice to see him getting some more swings or some more opportunities here. As the first pitch to R.J. Fuhr will be a ball, 1-0. R.J. Fuhr's got a base hit today. He's 1 for 3 in total. He stole second as well in that inning, as that's going to be called a strike, 1-1. Comes the 1-1 pitch. That'll be a pitch outside, 2-1. 80-mile-an-hour pitch from Trevor Jonich.
And the Woolly Mammoths are definitely running out of time here.
2-1 pitch will be hit foul into the netting. 2-2 now. Count will fall even.
As the Beavers have just blown this lead wide open.
Kevin Martin goes 1 inning pitch with 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So he had himself a good relief appearance, following up Jake Welch's strong performance starting today. Meanwhile, Fuhr is going to ground that one back to the mound. Jonich will grab it and toss down to Wilson at first, and that'll be 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So Kent Blackstone will come in and try and keep things alive here for the Mammoths in the bottom half of the 8th inning. He's 1 for 3 so far today. It's the lone RBI for the Mammoths so far.
Seems like he's the one that gets it done in this Woolly Mammoths lineup. Day in, day out.
Meanwhile, Blackstone is going to take for a ball, 1-0. 1-0 pitch is going to be skied high in the air. Lucido is going to hit in the foul territory. Kennan's going to make the catch, though, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Jonich.
Very quick inning for Jonich.
He performs very well in his inning of relief, so we go, Dan, to the top of the 9th inning with a 9-1 lead for the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers. When we come back, the Beavers are going to lead it off with Nick Buckner. Following him be Robert Lucido and DJ Martinez, so stay tuned for more. Welcome back, everyone, to the top half of the 9th inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here on this Sunday afternoon matchup between the Beavers and the Mammoths.
And, Brian, we have a pitching change.
Yes, we do.
And it's a hard-throwing Cory Kimber.
He's been known to top out around 98 miles an hour, and he can throw very, very hard, as that one's at 93. 0-1 now on Nick Buckner.
Kimber plenty of times already this season. Has 10 innings pitched, has given up 3 hits, has 12 strikeouts, and I mean 12 hard-throwing strikeouts, and has given up 2 runs which were earned, and has a ERA of 180 and a whip of 120.
So 0-2 now on Nick Buckner as he swings and fouls that one off. And that was actually an off-speed pitch from Kimber, which we don't see many of, but he mixes them in here and there. Jared Gaynor has just got the last out of the 8th inning, so 1/3 inning pitch with 1 hit, Two runs scored, however, because it was an RBI single from Brandon Raw, but not to him, as Nick Buckner's going to swing and miss, but it's a drop third strike, so they're going to have to throw down to first, and they get him. So Cory Kimber gets the first guy he faces out on a strikeout, no less. That seems to be his specialty. So Robert Lucido will stand in. He is 1 for 3 so far today. And Conrad Kovalchik will pinch hit for Robert Lucido. And the first pitch to him is going to be a strike at 94 miles an hour, 0-1.
So far, Kovalchik is hitting 200 right on the dot, has 3 hits and 4 RBIs.
Oh, 1 pitch swung on and missed at an 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball in the dirt. Chasing after that one, so 0-2 now. It's been all Beavers in today's ball game, with the exception of the RBI single from Blackstone. It's just been, we have seen 2 home runs, 1 from Wilson, 1 from Raw, 1-2 now after that ball missed. And then RBIs also from Thomas Rulis and DeNandre Clark have done the damage, but that the 1, 2, 3 batters in the lineup have done most of the damage for the Beavers today. Clark, Raw, and Wilson have combined for 7 of the 9 runs. Swing and a miss there from Kovalchik, and he goes down on strikes. 2 consecutive strikeouts for Cory Kimber to start the inning.
And that pitch was very off-speed there from Kimber.
DJ Martinez will step in now. He's 0 for 4. Steve's pick for player of the game is not doing so hot.
No. I guess that's a plus for me and you.
Unfortunately, well, luckily enough, the Beavers have plenty of offense to go around, so
Yes. You're always going to have that one off day, no matter what.
as DG Martinez looks at the first pitch, swings and misses at a breaking ball, 0-1. That ball broke over the center of the plate outside. Fooled him on that one as Kimber sets. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-2. So DJ Martinez adjusted for the breaking ball and then got a fastball. He's keeping Kimber's definitely keeping these hitters on the toes as it's 0-2 on Martinez. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth inning. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Be outside, 1-2 now. It's a 9-1 lead for the Beavers. 3 RBIs for Wilson, 3 RBIs for Brandon Raw, and an RBI from DeNandre Clark and Thomas Rulis have done most of the damage today. There was 1 run that scored from a error, as that's a swing and a miss, and Cory Kimber strikes out the side.
Wow, we don't see that much.
All 3 swinging strikeouts, and we go to the bottom of the ninth, where it's last call for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Due up for them in the bottom of the ninth will be Alex Abbott, Ethan Whisker, and Riley Palmer as they try to overcome a 9-1 deficit. So we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. It's bottom half of the ninth inning. Last call for the Mammoths. Brian Fisher and Dan Dolber here to bring the close on the curtain of this ball game. It's a 9-1 lead for the Beavers as the Mammoths try to overcome that. We've had a pitching change, Dan.
Yes, it's Jacob Azell. And he only has one appearance.
He's gone 2/3 of an inning in that appearance.
He has a strikeout as well.
So he's let up no runs, so he did a good job in that 2/3 innings pitched. He did do. Trevor Jonich is done. He had his first full inning pitched in the USPBL now with the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers, at least this season. He went 1 inning pitched with no hits, no runs. Well, zeros across the board, so he went 1, 2, 3.
So great start
no
for him.
strikeouts, though.
Great job for him coming out of the bullpen of the Beavers, even though they obviously lead big time in this ball game.
So Azell's going to come out and try to mirror that here. His team is in the lead by a lot, so he's got a lot of room to work, but he's going to want to get it over as soon as he can to really get his stats in line. His swing and a miss there from Abbott at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Ooh.
So we're learning just now that Azell can throw really, really hard.
Not just Kimber.
Alex Abbott probably wasn't expecting it either.
No.
Comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one deep to right field, and that one is just gone. Abbott crushed a 94-mile-an-hour fastball over top of the hill in right field. And a solo shot from for Alex Abbott is going to lead off the bottom of the ninth inning, and not how Etzel wanted to start the inning.
Not at all.
But a solo shot will make it 9-2.
Did you just see Clark there and right just hop the fence? Just it already way gone, but he just for fun and games. He knew it was gone.
Yeah, that ball was just demolished to right field.
It was way over that hill, and luckily a couple kids out there were running after it.
Abbott said he wasn't going to get fooled by that fastball twice in a row. Caught up with that one and just crushed it. So now Ethan Whisker will step in. First pitch from him will be a line drive into the gap in right center field. That's going to be an extra base hit for Ethan Whisker. And with no outs, all of a sudden the Mammoths have found their hitting.
Not a good start right now for
Etzel.
Etzel.
So now with no outs and a runner at second and in a 9-2 ball game, the Westside Woolly Mammoths have found their bats. So Riley Palmer will step in.
That's just their 6th hit of the ball game.
See what Palmer can do here with no outs and a runner at second. His team trailing by now only 7 runs. Can drive home a run and make it 6. Take it one batter at a time. Just try to keep the line moving. As he's going to ground that one over to the second baseman, Rulis. And he will be thrown out down there at first base. But he will advance Palmer to third. So Jeff Smith will step in. He had a hit back in the 7th inning. Finally broke his 0-for-7 streak. Looks to get another hit here and drive in a run with 1 out here as Ethan Whisker's down there at third base after hitting a double to the gap in right center field. The first pitch to Smith is going to be grounded foul. 0-1 on him now. And it's suddenly gotten very quiet here at the ballpark.
Yes, it has, Brian.
There was all kinds of energy after that home run from Abbott, but now all of a sudden it's just dead quiet.
I don't know what it is.
Comes the 0-1 pitch from Smith. Swung on and missed there. I think he actually got a piece of that one, but 0-2 nonetheless.
I know all the little kids are getting ready because after the ball game they get to run the bases.
That's what it is, Dan. All the kids are down there.
Yeah.
You can't hear them. They're far away from the stands. No, I'm just messing around.
And also launch a ball after every single game as well.
As Etzel sets. Comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to ground that one foul as he reached on that one. Remain 0-2 now on Smith. Jeff Smith still looking to turn it around here. He had a base hit earlier in this game, but the last few games he's not been so hot. Could use this right here as a great jumping point with a runner at third base here in the bottom of the ninth. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to ground that one over to the third baseman, Kennan. They'll throw down a first and throw him out by about a step. And there'll be 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth inning. So Sean Wood will step in. He's 0 for 2. He has a walk, however, back in the 7th inning. With a runner at third, he can drive in a run and make it a 9-3 ball game, but with 1 out left in the bottom of the 9th inning, it's looking quite grim. First pitch to Wood is going to be a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed there to 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer half of the plate. 1-1. It was a 9-1 game coming into the inning, but then Alex Abbott hit an absolute moonshot over the hill in right field, and you knew that one was gone in a hurry.
Fans were chasing after that baseball.
Etzel tried hitting him twice with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball, as that one misses inside. Sean Wood had to get out of the way of that one, 2-1. The first fastball to Abbott was 95. He tried going back to it again and just crushed it. But unfortunately, with a 9-1 deficit, now 9-2, it's looking too little too late. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there, and 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with a runner at third base here in the bottom half of the ninth inning, and the Westside Woolly Mammoths are down to their last strike. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss there, and that's going to end the ball game. And the Birmingham-Bloomfield Beavers will take this one away from the Mammoths. It's a 9-1 victory, 9-2 victory. Sorry, forgot about that solo shot for the Beavers over top of the Mammoths. And the offense coming courtesy of the 1-2-3 hitters in the lineup. So we'll go to our post-game chat just in a few moments, and we'll be back shortly with more. Please stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here for a quick post-game chat on this Sunday afternoon game where the Beavers conquered the Mammoths 9-2. Just go give you a quick post-game recap. The Beavers struck early with a 2-run home run from Nick Wilson, and then they didn't look back. Home runs from Wilson and Raw today. The 1-2-3 hitters for the Beavers did most of the damage. An RBI single from DeAndre Clark, 3 RBIs from Brandon Raw with a solo shot and a 2 RBI single. He went 3 for 5 in today's ball game. Then Nick Wilson went 3 for 5 as well. He had a 2-run home run in the first, a single in the 5th, and an RBI single in the 7th. And that did most of the offense for the Beavers in today's ball game. And also the Rulers had an RBI single. On the Mammoth side of things, they didn't have much.
No.
An RBI single from Kent Blackstone in the 3rd, and then a solo shot in the bottom half of the 9th from Alex Abbott. Did most of the damage. The winning pitcher today will be Jake Welch. He had a phenomenal outing.
Yes,
6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Holcomb was a little bit rough on the mound today, but he wasn't helped at all by his defense. He's the losing pitcher. He went 6 innings pitched with 7 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of which were earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. So technically he had a quality start, but the errors his defense committed didn't help him any. And errors were pretty much the name of the game for the Mammoths today. They had, I believe, 5 errors on the game in total.
Yeah, errors are definitely going to hurt you.
And they did today, as looking at the stat line, I believe most of the runs that the Beavers scored were unearned for the Mammoths. So, Dan, who would you say is your player of the game? And I have a feeling I already know who it is.
My man, Nick Wilson, had a homer and 3 RBIs in this ball game.
Just for the sake of representation and from being different, I'm going to go with Brandon Raw, the man who hit right before him. He went 3 for 5 today as well with 3 RBIs, and he had a solo shot himself. So I think those were the 2 players of the game. Nick Wilson, obviously, with the 2-run home run, and then Brandon Raw with the solo shot. Who would be your pitcher of the game?
I got to give it to Jake Welch.
I can get on board with that. Jake Welch had a fantastic outing, 6 innings pitched with the 3 hits, and the only giving up 1 run with 5 strikeouts. He came out knowing that he had to have a good game. Came in today with a 4.20 ERA and a 1.53 WHIP, and today will do nothing but serve to help bring that down. And if he can come out like that more often, he'll be a force to be reckoned with in the starting rotation for the Beavers. My starting pitcher today, Dan, or not my starting pitcher, my pitcher of the game, I will have to give it to Cory Kimber.
Oh, yeah.
In relief in the top of the 9th inning for the Mammoths, he was like the shining light for them in today's ball game.
It's just unfortunate. Like, he coming in the ball game. I think this is the second time he's coming in the ball game, his team trailing and getting the job done.
Yeah.
He's a hard thrower.
In a game where nothing seemed to go right for the Mammoths, he came out and went 1-2-3, striking out all 3 batters he faced swinging. And he throws hard, but his location is good too.
Yes.
So he does a great job on the mound, and it's just a shame that the Mammoths were in such a predicament as they were at that time. But just as I said, it's a 9-2 victory for the Beavers over top of the Mammoths. And Dan, we have a Monday game tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
At 1:35 p.m.
Yep.
Who's the matchup?
It's the Indy. We're celebrating, of course, the 4th of July here at Jimmy John's Field. And if you come out to the ball game, you get a free Star Spangled Banner T-shirt. So that's very, it's free.
It's a nice giveaway, yeah. It's a nice giveaway to go along with 4th of July.
And we have the Beavers taking on the Unicorns at 1:35.
It's a matchup we haven't seen in a while, so it's going to be a fun one.
Yes, it is.
We saw them the Mammoths faced the Unicorns last night, and the Unicorns ended up losing that ball game, so they're going to be looking to bounce back with a win. But anyways, from Jimmy John's Field, I'm Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler. Once again, the Beavers take down the Mammoths 9-2 in today's ball game. Offense was the name of the game for the Beavers, just tacking on runs, taking advantage of Mammoth errors. So we'll catch you guys again tomorrow at 1:35 p.m. for a Monday 4th of July weekend ball game. So thank you all for listening, and see you tomorrow.